trying to get it, man. Get your tail, it's a different lane. When you playing for the winning team, RP to Mr. Wayne's. Bang, bang, we gon' win the game. Core crank, hit you with your pain.
I be spitting real, you be spitting backwash, yeah. So I'ma have to ask you all to back off. Hitters in my DMs try to hit me with the caps lock. Cause I'm always beastin' on the camera like the Sasquatch. Waiting till I blow, y'all gon' see me blast off, yeah. And y'all gon' see in front.
This week's product of the week is DIY Details Plastic Trim Restore and Protect. This will restore your vehicle's faded plastic and rubber trim, bringing it back to its original shine. This long-lasting car trim restoration not only revives dull and faded surfaces, but also offers a protective layer against harsh UV rays, preventing future damage. Plastic rejuvenation for cars, protective layer technology, compatible with all services, easy to use. If you have not tried it, please try yours today. Get yours at thehouseofrags.com. Chris Tan will say DIY Detail has brought you guys something totally new, and we are going to get into it today. Let's go. You should definitely be scared of this. I'm definitely be scared of this thing. But scared of this brush? No way. The Perfectly Safe brush features flag tip bristles that gently lift away dirt and grime while protecting every finish. This brush makes detailing simpler and more effective, delivering precision, cleaning with complete peace of mind. Let's talk about the DIY Detail Perfectly Safe brush. Hey everybody, this is Christy at Details and Me, and today I have a little bit of a different show that I'm going to bring to you, featuring something that might just be a little controversial, but let's check it out. Perfectly Safe brush. Now, I know what you're thinking. There is nothing perfectly safe about a brush, but I assure you that you are going to see today, as I use this brush on very delicate surfaces, that you are going to see that this brush is indeed perfectly safe. When you receive this brush from DIY, this is what you are going to get. You are going to get just the head of the brush. Now, I really do want you to pay attention to these bristles here. I am going to put it right next to the green flag tip brush. Now, if you can just see, I'm not sure if you can pick it up by camera, but if you thought the flag tip brush was already pretty soft, which you guys, this is safe on your paint, good for wheels, which is where I use it, but you can use it on your paint as well. This is even softer. Now, the density of the brush, let's look at the density here. Okay, I feel like it's even more dense than this. So it really will maintain and hold its shape. And again, you guys, the softness of the fibers, it is not like the brushes that you're going to use or see at a self-serve car wash. This is something completely different. I have never felt a brush this soft in my life. We're going to put it to the test. We're going to see if it can really clean, but this is what you get now. DIY does not have at the moment, I believe, a handle that goes with it, so you will get it like this. I know that they are working on it. I'm not sure if that's live on the website yet. The way I've intended is that you could literally use any old handle from any broom that you have on hand. So if I wanted to use this one, I just screw it in and it works. I have purchased, which I will put up on the screen here, it is called a Worcester Sherlock stick. This is from Home Depot. This is a 2 to 4 foot stick. It is adjustable, has a really nice handle with a really nice foam grip there. And once again, all it takes is a little screwing in. And there you have it. You're going to see that the Perfectly Safe brush fits perfectly in a 5-gallon bucket with room to grow there. I know Ivan has said it literally needs to absorb water for about 3 seconds before it's ready to go. So we're going to get our bucket filled up. We're going to get this car foamed, and we are going to see how safe this Perfectly Safe brush is. Can I just give a big shout out one more time to Jeff at Improved Garage, who just installed this on my wall here, making my life so much easier today. Thank you, Jeff at Improved Garage. If you have not visited his channel, get there, guys. You won't regret it. Okay, so I've come in and done a pre-wash with Al Pre-Wash from Luminous. I also sprayed some bug and tar remover. So there are still some bug guts that you are going to see here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to foam my car with Pan's soap. I then have Pan's soap in the bucket here with this Perfectly Safe brush ready to go. And we are going to see how perfectly safe this brush really is. So I've used this brush for a couple of weeks now, and what I really appreciate about this brush, as opposed to something like the mitt on the stick, is the fact that when you have cars with these intricate grills, with all of these honeycombed pieces, and with emblems, the way that these bristles just kind of concave around all of those features of a vehicle make it really nice to clean easily, efficiently, and effectively. Any of these nooks and crannies, any of the crevices, this Perfectly Safe brush just kind of conforms. The bristles literally conform to the surface and give it a nice good scrub. Now the mitt on the stick, even though it's wonderful, it is more of a flat surface, so you cannot get into these tight spaces like you can with the Perfectly Safe brush. This makes this type of brush a winner for me, especially again for cars with these kinds of grills. Now the one thing I like about the mitt on the stick is the rubberized pole here, this rubber piece around it. That makes for safer washing. No, DIYs does not have that, but I'm sure with time and innovation, something like that could be created. Obviously, it is a great tool. The one thing that is hard for me with the mitt on the stick is if I'm not using both hands, which sometimes just isn't very comfortable. A lot of us want to just use that one hand. It is heavy. Okay, I don't got big guns. There's no gun show here. And so it is a lot harder for me to kind of maneuver. I have to really use my strength to kind of keep it going because it's so heavy, it wants to go to the bottom of the car. Now, when I am using the Perfectly Safe brush, it is a lot easier to maneuver. It is a lot easier to control. I still feel like it's doing a very good job in cleaning. Those bristles, again, are conforming to whatever surface that it is cleaning. And so for me, the size of the brush, there is just much more control. This part, the head of this is not heavy, so it's not dragging itself down when I'm trying to clean. I could grab my detail brush and use my detail brush to get into the intricate spaces here in this cowl of the hood here. However, I have to do things like this. It's time consuming. Yes, it works, but it's not always super efficient. It can be effective, but efficient, not always. So when I have something like the Perfectly Safe brush, look how much easier it is to get into those crevices, those nooks and crannies. When I get to these intricate spaces here, I can easily clean in those spaces without having to use this teeny little detail brush, which we sometimes do, right? Because we're detailers. This is how we get in to those small little details that some people kind of miss, right? I also like at the top of the vehicle when you have these railways here, when you have these strips. But if you look here again at the cowl, yes, I can clean it, but I'm not getting into all of those tight spaces because it's not pliable. It doesn't conform to every nook and cranny. It's more of just a straight edge.
So just to clarify, a tool flexibility, the shape conformity, the material behavior plays crucial roles in how effectively it adapts to a surface. So the DIY Detail Perfectly Safe brush, it outperforms the auto fiber mitt on a stick in my opinion for a few reasons. It's the precision and the maneuverability, it's the surface coverage, it is the cleaning efficiency in complex areas, it's the brush design and flexibility.
I also like to show you here, this is a part of my car that's not coated. This paint is not in the worst condition. I'm hoping that this light does it some justice to where you can see that there is not a lot of swirls or scratches in this panel here. It's not perfect paint, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Now again, I know that this is a lighter color paint, but if you can see that, it's pretty decent. At least in my opinion. Not perfect, but decent. So I want to show you that using this Perfectly Safe brush isn't going to mar your surface. So let me show you that now. Now I just came in on a dry panel, which you would really never do, right? But just for the sake of the culture. Now, you do not need to put pressure or use pressure when you are using this brush. I am using a lot of pressure here because I really want to show you that there is no marring that is induced. Well, I shouldn't say none, right? Because whenever we touch our paint, there's going to be some kind of induced marring, but there is not going to be those swirls and scratches that people think by using this brush. Okay, there we go. So let me come in and dry this paint, kind of raw dog it here. Probably don't want to do that either, but again, for the culture. So. Again, perfectly safe. So when you are done, just like anything else, you're gonna wash out. Just kind of wash out until that water runs dry, and you are going to see it's now ready to be put away. I'll let it hang to dry, and then it'll be ready for the next wash. Okay, so there you have it, the perfectly safe brush. I have been using it for a couple of weeks, you guys, and it actually is earning a permanent spot in my arsenal, just because, again, I have vehicles coming my way that have very intricate spaces, different parts of the vehicle that make it really hard to get to with just a regular wash mitt, you know, a sponge, or the mitt on a stick. The perfectly safe brush really does make it easy to get into those places that you can't get otherwise. If you guys have ever had any kind of horror story with some kind of brush that has scratched your paint, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it, and I will catch you on the next one.